have just stepped into some Ridgeback controversy. Is a Rhodesian Ridgeback's ridge linked to certain health conditions? Let's talk about it. There's lots of drama. Okay, so there's two things you gotta know. A Rhodesian Ridgeback has a ridge in their back. Somebody asked what that is. It's basically a place where like the hair or the fur grows in the opposite direction. It looks like a little, like a mohawk basically. That is the defining feature of a Rhodesian Ridgeback. That's why, you know, Ridgeback is in the name. Second thing is that the major health condition of this breed is something called dermoid sinus. In the past, they used to have the dogs who had this, because there was no fix and it was really painful and reduced their quality of life. Now there's a fix, there's a surgery to fix it. But anyways, it has to do with their spine. That's where it occurs. Now, let's talk about the controversy. In 2011, Swedish scientists went out to see if there was a connection between the ridge and this medical condition. And what they found was that this medical condition was linked to the dominant ridge gene, okay? So I talked about before how the dog can have two dominant ridge genes or only one of them. Either way, they have a ridge in those particular instances. Now, a dog who is a ridgeless Ridgeback does not have a dominant ridge gene. They have two recessive ones, and the Swedish scientists found that they didn't find any ridgeless Ridgebacks who had this medical condition, and they concluded that ridgeless Ridgebacks with the recessive ridge gene were not at risk of getting this because that condition is linked to the dominant gene. So basically it's linked to the ridge. They were calling on breeders to start breeding in ridgeless Ridgebacks into the line to try to get rid of these dogs that have the double ridge gene, because they're at much more higher risk of developing this condition. And the breeders were like, no, we're not going to do that. We need more science before we start changing the entire breed. You know, and they got a lot of pushback because the breeders were essentially prioritizing the look of the breed over the health of the breed. Okay, so now let's fast forward to last year. There was another study that happened. It was a much larger study, and they found two ridgeless Ridgebacks who had this condition. And they're like, hey, these dogs got the condition. They shouldn't have gotten it, according to the Swedish scientists. But this is showing that this condition, this DS condition, is not connected to this dominant ridged gene. And they're like, gotcha, you're wrong. And then the Swedish scientists were like, no. This condition can happen in any dog and people. People get it too. These dogs probably were already going to be getting this. This is not connected to the ridge. These are just regular dogs who got this condition. So that's the controversy. I stopped reading after that because it was like 10 o'clock at night. Now there are breeders who will breed ridgeless Ridgebacks with dogs that have the double gene, so the puppies won't have that double ridge gene.